James Kirtley, day one over with. What's your take on the day's play?
Well, I think we'd be a little bit disappointed if we're honest. So, we thought, initially quite a good start, the first 30 minutes or so, and you think you're just about to get on top and set the tone, having been sent into bat. And then you find yourself sort of 4 wickets down quite quickly. Yes, there was a couple of interruptions, but we've talked about starting games better, and that's another example where we haven't quite got it right. And then we've had to battle hard the rest of the day to stay in the game.
Tricky conditions this morning, overheads. Was that was it good Essex bowling, or was it some batting that perhaps could have been slightly better?
I think there was a couple of good balls in there, and then probably a couple of shots where I think if the batters would probably felt they could have been a little bit more disciplined. But it happens, and we're all human. But we're going to have to work hard with the ball now, and look to we've got 4 wickets tonight, but probably weren't at the top of our game. So there's wickets to be had. And we're going to have to make sure we're as disciplined as we can when we come back tomorrow.
Talk about the bowling performance in a moment. Another half century from James Coles, who just looks in terrific form at the minute, James, in all forms of the game.
Yeah, sometimes it's limited to one format, and we keep forgetting that Coles is only 21, and he's learning to adapt his game from one format to the other, and is showing the strength of player that he is. And it's an exciting time for a young man like that, and he should be really happy with the way he's gone about business. He'll be disappointed he didn't go on and get a bigger score, because he understands that's what's required, so he'll be reviewing that. But without that innings today, it could be a very different day.
For all of that, you came fighting back. You look, when Essex was 119 for 1, if the Sussex could be in real trouble, but you must have been pleased with the perseverance there, James.
Yeah, we are. I mean, you can never knock this team for that. We're very good at bouncing back. It's just we want to try and get into these games and try and get on the front foot, but we know this team's got character, we know this team's got resilience, and we'll come back tomorrow, clear plans, looking to deliver that and looking to limit Essex as best we can. But it is a character of this team that sometimes we almost have to be behind the game. We saw it at Taunton, we've seen it in other examples of games where we almost have to start on the back foot to show what we're capable of, and we're going to have to do that again.
No Ollie Robinson in this game. Looking at your overseas, we felt in the commentary box that Gurinder Sandhu really stood up, sort of leading the attack tonight.
He does. He's been a great addition. He's very keen to help. Whether it's on the pitch or off the pitch, you can't fault Gurinder's involvement and his attitude, and he's shown the discipline there. He wants to. He was delighted with the way he started up at Durham, and he wants to. He doesn't want that to be a one-off. He wants to contribute to a winning cause, and he's got a couple of games to do that.
We talked about the overheads, James. What about the pitch? What are your thoughts going into day 2?
Oh, look, it's a good pitch. There's carry. We've seen the Knicks carry, and that's all we've ever asked of the groundsmen, is that with the pace bowlers, that defensive Knicks carry. I think we'd just be a bit disappointed that we kept nicking them.